For mixed media, look at our lovely little display. This is a challenge we did with the group that meets here once a month. So I guess we're going to get started, right? I think we just have a couple announcements. Judy would be the first to tell you that we're really excited about CAFE coming. We released information this week in our newsletter that we found out that we won the JAFTEX Virtual Challenge. I know a lot of you watching helped us out by watching that video and liking it and sharing it, and we could not be more grateful. We literally screamed here in the shop when we found out. So that was a really big accomplishment, and it is thanks to our customer base, both here locally and certainly far and wide. We're so appreciative that you tune into these little events and demos, and that you're there behind us helping us out and supporting this business the way you do. So again, we're getting excited about CAFE coming. It will be in a month. His first event is his lecture. His Color of Inspiration lecture will be on Friday, October 7th. There are still some tickets available for that. And with the attendance, you do get a copy of his new book, Quilt in Wales, which has just been published. His quilt classes are filled up. But we've planned a couple other events. One on the Monday, now remember that is a holiday weekend. That Monday we're doing a Bernina Sit and Sew, and that will be the CAFE hat box quilt. All supplies are provided. You will get every bit of fabric you need to do it, and we'll even have the CAFE limited edition machine set up for you to use. So that's a really exciting opportunity. And because we're so inspired by CAFE and inspired by color and inspired by pattern, we are going to be doing 2 sessions. Judy will be leading those, print and stitch. And so you're going to get a chance to print with the limited edition CAFE inspired wooden printing blocks that are being carved for us in India. Yes, we got an audience reaction here. Yes, that's true. They will be sold as a set, but the people who are here are able to take part. They'll be able to use them. You can print all day, or for your session, you can stitch, you can do both. It should be a lot of fun. So if you kind of got shut out of the quilt classes because they fill quickly and we're limited, that's a really great option for extending your lecture time here or spending the weekend here with us. We're going to have a lot of CAFE products. We will have a store on site at the lecture. And as well as our store here, of course. So again, we're very excited. I know we keep mentioning it, but how can we not mention it? It's CAFE Facet. He hasn't been to the U.S. since 2019. He's celebrating his 85th birthday. So this fall, this might be the last time he travels overseas. So we're really excited to be one of the ones to host him. You know, he might want to decide he wants to stay in London. So anyway, we're excited by that, and we hope you will join us. And tonight, let's see, this is the usual information that we encourage you to download our app so that you can access the sale video and the replay as you wish. It's easier to shop with that. You can see what we have available. If you're watching a replay, you can kind of just go to the description you need rather than watching it entirely. So if you have not yet done so, that is a great way to experience these evenings. We do this through Comments Sold. So again, if you're visiting us through Facebook, you will want a Comments Sold account so that you can lay claim to all the great products that we have. And as always, if you have any questions, just reach out to us via email. If you're watching tonight, you can message us. We're going to do our best to get all the messages. If you've got questions while we're presenting or about a product that's in the store, don't hesitate to reach out. So, this is not what I usually do. I usually sit behind the desk, so I'm a little nervous. I hope you'll bear with me. But as I said, I think we've got some really fun things to show you. We're going to start off with Inktense. These are by Derwent. They are really cool ink products. They're available in a block, which I actually have little pieces of it here, or in pencil form. And we have metallic pencil. Now, I'm going to show you a few things. One of the things that's very cool about them is we always get, when we show products, one of the first things everyone asks us, oh, can I use that on fabric? Yes, you can. And we always encourage people to realize that you can use just about anything on fabric. Question becomes, can it be washed? Can it be handled? Can it be laundered? And with Inktense, it is permanent. This is just, we're working with found papers tonight. We have our fun paper pack, so we've just got lots of different things going on. What we're going to be doing is, rather than a specific kind of project for you, we're making fodder. That's the big thing now. Everybody makes fodder. So what's fodder? It's kind of your gel prints. It's your stencils. It's just cleaning off your stamps or your paintbrush. It's things that you just wanted to experiment with or didn't quite work out. You print over them again, you tear them up, you cut them out. There's all sorts of things you can do with it. So this page, I use some of the Inktense blocks on them. What I wanted to show you, what's really exciting about it is, once these dry, and they are dry, they are fast. They will not move again. So it is something that you can layer up and get your colors true. So I'm going to show you, because I'm going to wet the page. So these were all stored in tin to kind of, there you go. Look at that gorgeous, gorgeous color. And it's not a watercolor, it is an ink. So that's why it will be permanent. It's really kind of a dye. Great on fabric. They blend beautifully. I'm just gonna swoop that around. They can be intense. They can be pale. And again, I'm going to come over here and add some more red because, and you see how my blue layer underneath, if it's not moving, you still see that brush mark that I originally had. So obviously when I do things like this, you're not going to see any great masterpiece, but you're getting the idea, I hope. And this piece, I did a little bit earlier because I wanted to dry piece of black and white fabric, and that is your Inktense. That is permanent. So you're really getting like sort of a little dye effect. So you can do a couple things. You can apply directly like you just saw me do. You can sort of scribble out some, make yourself a wash or a dye that you're immersing in. With the pencils, obviously you have a nice little tight point. One of the things that's fun to do, you just got it out, you just really take the color completely. It's almost like your little paint palette. So, I mean, everyone loves the beauty, beautiful effects you can get with watercolor. But, one of the big drawbacks to watercolors is that your layer is not going to be fixed and fast. If you work over top of it, you could lose your effect. And so with Inktense, you're going to have permanence. Put some on this side and see. What we'll do is just grab it this way.
Now, is there such thing as too much water in this process? Or
no, because if you've got a lot of water, there you're going pale, and that might be exactly what you want. I mean, I tend to go bright with things because I love vibrant colors, but pale works, blends work. So, this will just dry.
less water is more color.
More color, or
Okay.
or it's a proportionate thing. Again, if you're stroking directly onto the block like I just did, or you're spritzing and you're swooping your thing, it's very, very intense, very vibrant. It's going to grab a lot of the color. But again, one of the big selling points here is that's permanent. So that's exciting to me. And I think, you know, different than the majority of other products that are on the market. So.
I know something I've seen a lot.
Can you show
Especially,
what the pencils look like or how they work on fabric?
oh,
I don't have an open tin of pencils.
Or is it the same concept? But
It's the same concept. They literally look like a colored pencil.
They're just
I
point-
do apologize. It's a sealed tin. That's the only one I've got near me.
But you can take it out with a brush.
Yes, you could
From the
still you
pencil.
could still stroke the lead of the pencil. So think of a colored pencil. You could work with it as a point.
It acts like a watercolor pencil.
Yeah, but with the permanence that a watercolor can't give you. So I apologize I can't show you that, but we're doing very, very precise here. I'm like, didn't get my water out. But my little, use the orange for the leaf.
I know something that a lot of people have been coming in looking for is like making your own tote bags, purses, clothes, things like that. That would be a great addition. I know a lot of people who like to do jean jackets or something and hand
Yeah.
draw their own designs on it.
And yeah, and also with commercial fabric like this black and white here. Again, I'm not saying that that's anything that anybody would want to keep, but to be able to add your own color to it and to customize or to just, you know, what do we say about artists? The hand of the artist. You want, even if you're using something commercial, you want your own feel to it.
And you said it's permanent, but does it need to be heat set if you're going to wash it, if it's on fabric?
It's not a paint in that sense. It's really, you think of it as a dye.
Okay.
So, so once it's dry, it's, so look at this lovely yellow popping into this orange. We're all looking forward to fall with Cape coming and with cooler weather coming, so I'm thinking leaves. So.
Gonna check to see what our
That's
audience is
Inktense.
doing.
What do people think of Inktense? It's pretty cool, I think.
I love Inktense.
I put these on and then brushed gel medium on them, so this will be permanent. If you just rub it on and you can make your fabric a different color, but you could actually draw on there and pick out things.
Yeah,
But just using a brush with some gel medium. And this is matte gel medium, so it will dry without any shine.
All right, what do we have over here? Okay.
I'm doing the same as Diane, but I made a whole sheet of map.
Sharon, someone says, this is awesome. Thanks for demonstrating. I have Inktense blocks and have never used them.
Oh boy, they're gonna get those out, aren't they? We do know that there are a lot of products out there that, the packaging gives you a little tiny bit of information. If you haven't used it before, if you haven't found the right instructional video or demonstration, they can be a real mystery. So that's one of the reasons we thought this would be a good topic, because it's like these lovely little tins, and it's like, what's inside there and what does it do? So hopefully that's got you excited.
The Derwent website's really helpful.
They are very helpful. They are true artists, and they behave like artists, and so they have wonderful tutorials and explanations and things. So
And what was the website?
the Derwent website, so the product name. So
Okay.
go. Okay, so the next thing I am going to show you are the new color range of the TCW, that's the Crafters Workshop Stencil Butters. So what they did was create a new range that are still very vibrant, but a more, I don't want to use the word country, I don't like that word, but a more subdued, more vintagey look to them. So I think, hang on. I thought I had something to show you. So an example would be that in some cases they made another blue. In this case, they made another yellow. This is the original yellow. So that's really wonderful, bright, vibrant, rainbow, sunshine yellow. And this is the new version. So this ochre. So you're getting, again, much more vintage look. All of the stencil butters blend together. You can blend colors. You can mix them up. So in addition to these butters, which are a creamy paste, they now have the Stardust butter. So this is a fine gel glitter. It's a clear gel, so what you're going to be left with is like the color of the glitter on top. Sorry. Which way am I going?
Perfect.
So we've got that in a pearl, a platinum, champagne, and their version of black, which is a name I really don't know quite how to say, so I'm going to call it black. It's a very artsy name, huh?
Marcasite?
Maybe so.
It is marcasite.
Okay.
Oh, listen to you. Listen to you people making me feel bad that I don't know. So this is one of our new stencils. We just got this in with the new colors. This is called Hole Punch, so it's really cool. Let me put this on something that will show it a little bit. How about here? So I'm going to show you the great creamy consistency of these. So can you see the mica pearlized shine that you get? Okay. So you can use a palette knife. My favorite tool on earth is just a credit card, which I am going to borrow because I dropped mine. So I'm just grabbing a little bit. I'm actually gonna scoop it out on my freezer paper here. And just come down and just pull it through. Oops, got the edge, no problem. And there you go. So it will dry with the peaks and the valleys in it. So can you see that there will be physical dimension here? But there's always a but. One of the things that's very cool about the stencil butter, and they kind of don't say it, is that as great as it is through a stencil and to pull it, it really functions very much like a paint. So you can dilute this with some water. You could literally paint it full strength, and see, that would just dry. I could get that smoother. And some water. And suddenly I've got a wash. I can see the little drip running down. So it's a really versatile product. It's not just about being a texture medium, it's a color medium. And again, since all the colors can mix together, once again, you realize I'm not making any kind of like sensible art that looks good, but I'm trying to show you what it'll do. Let me clean my brush, which I will do with my hand because I also dropped my wipes. Yay! Yay, Sharon! You did such a good job.
Sharon, Julie wants to know, can you use the butters on fabric?
And can you repeat the question?
So we're being asked whether the stencil butters could go on fabric. So Julie, yes, they could. This is not a question of throwing it in the laundry afterwards. So for an art quilt, any kind of surface like that, yes, awesome. You do that beautiful hand stitching. I bet it would be really interesting to see like some texture and stitching around it. But I would not think that that's a claim in terms of like laundering. It wouldn't be a quilt that you'd put on a bed and need to wash. But sure, it would definitely go on fabric. I will grab my piece of fabric and we will add a little bit of it to it. How's that? So this little corner is reserved for something else that I will show you in a bit. Let's put some. There you go. It's got a nice opacity, so it's really beautiful. It can be diluted out as I showed you with the water, but when it's used full strength like that, you get that nice texture and dimension. Now, what I wasn't smart enough to do was to set up a version that was dry that I could show you the pearl butters, but let me show you. This is the Stardust Pearl White. So see, it's a very creamy consistency, and that looks, it will, again, the medium that's the glitter is being delivered in is clear, so you will not get that sort of pure white. Do you see that sheen coming up? Now what I just put it over is water soluble, so you see I'm mucking with it because again, that's coming later, but I think you can get the idea of what it would do. So especially with the stencil butters being texture and dimensional and holding peaks and valleys, these Stardust glitters are a really great way to just top something like that off, but also to apply over like a paint. I mean, with the winter holidays coming, I can just see, you know, snowflakes and glitter and ornaments, but a contained glitter, because you know, what's the joke about glitter? I'm not going to repeat it, but it kind of gets everywhere and goes everywhere, and you can't get rid of it. So, these are fun new products. So we're excited to see those. Glitter's not for everybody, but for those of us who like a little sparkle, it's a fun thing. Do you have a question, Diane?
Glitter is not a victimless crime. Is that what you were thinking of?
Diane just said glitter is not a victimless crime, so. Right. So, the next thing I'm going to show you is also by TCW, and I need to get it back from them. Sorry. Yeah, they are fun.
That one's drying.
These are.
She's got, wasn't that some of it?
It turned into a paint when you added water.
We'll come back to
With
that.
patience.
These are the Color Sparks. And what they are, some of you may have, there was a product out called Color Burst. Ken Oliver, there we had brush show crystal colors years ago. So it's all a similar idea. So this is a piece of watercolor paper that I use that on. Now here's what's really, really cool about this. I'm going to show you on this other side. This is the orange color. And what I'm doing is sort of tapping down this thing. And you see how you don't see anything? It's really, really unusual. It's like, is anything coming out? You can see it a little bit easier with the red, and definitely with the sepia. And this is really gorgeous because you'll see what'll happen with that. Okay, so you're like, oh yeah, well, what's that all about? That's what that's all about. Look at that color blossom. And see how the sepia breaks up? So you get those like blues and little effects. They are wild. Just doesn't even look like anything's on your paper. So they're very, very intensely colored. And again, you could move this around like a watercolor with my dirty brush. So the product that I told you I put the pearl over, that's color burst being applied through a stencil, which you're not going to get precision, but it's a really fun effect. So let's do that here. And we'll just take our clean side of the stencil. So you're going to do a couple things here. You're going to sprinkle out, and really I can't be certain I'm actually getting any. We'll get some of the crimson for sure. And then I'm gonna spray my stencil. And then I'm gonna get a piece of paper ready because there's a lot of color there. And this paper was what pounced off the remaining color here. So there is a ton of color there. What I would tell you with experiencing the color sparks is maybe work inside a lid at some sort of contained area, because I'm going to wipe this area down and the color will be popping up on me because there's just these tiny, tiny, tiny fragments. But think of them as a colorant too. So it's really cool to watch them blossom on the watercolor. And there's some really fun effects, and they've been playing with them over there and they really enjoy them. They also can be mixed into the stencil butters. So let's say you want, here I've got this marigold. Honestly, guys, I'm going to use my hand. There's just no other way around it. But, you know, I would really like a more burnt orange, a deeper orange color. So just imagine this too, you know, not even mixing it thoroughly, you know, doing sort of an ombre or pulling that through a stencil when it's not completely mixed. You're going to get that really, really neat effect. Oop, I think I smeared it, but that kind of gives you the general idea, I think. Just messiness, but underneath the messiness and underneath my scatteredness, I think you're getting the ideas, right? I hope.
Art is messy.
Art is messy. You are right.
Mixed media is messier.
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You look like you're just at one of the dye days that we have in the summer.
Oh, not quite.
Suzanne loves our dye days.
I do.
What's not to like?
Good point.
It's finally dry. Yeah, these are my favorite one of my favorite art supplies.
Right. Yeah, you can do it wet or dry, you can make paint out of it, you can use it on fabric,
Just not too
paper.
wet.
Oh, not too wet.
Wow. Okay. Coming back.
So I'm back, sorry. My hands are artist hands right now, but they are safe to be picking things up. So one of the things we've got in our shop for you are some of our found paper packs. Suzanne and Diane are over there playing on some found papers. You see, I've been working on them. There's just so much fun with book text. You get that visual interest, but you're coloring on top. This is sheet music that she used. This is one of Judy's mixed media quilts. Again, I'm going to be careful because of my surface, but so see all the cloth paper she made with her border fabric and all the different ways that she colored it and added some interest. So that's all paper. So, you know, this is one of my pieces where, you know, we're talking about the fodder. Well, how many different little pieces are in here and how much fodder is in here and how much is colored and stamped and just plain text to break it up and sheet music. And there's just kind of so many different ways to add your own touch to a product. These flowers were, you know, white and I just colored everything up, but very, very good example of whether you like my art or not, you can't deny this is not mixed media because name how much is in here.
Is that your piece?
That's mine,
Oh.
yeah.
Ooh, love it.
So we've got several different varieties of that, and we also have our wonderful Indian rag, 100% cotton rag paper packs for you. These are, they honestly feel like you're handling a piece of cloth. You can tell that they're made with actual cotton.
I've sewn them.
You've sewn them?
Yeah,
Yes, they
everyone cards out of-
they sew really well. There's a lot of texture to them. And they're beautiful to add your own touches on top of. Texture. Great for, like you said, card making. There's a bunch of different patterns, so they're just, you have to feel them. It's hard to convey that through the video, but they're really, really heavyweight. They are block printed in India for us, so they take any kind of wet medium very well. They really hold up to working and embellishing, and as Suzanne said, you can sew with them, so they're a lot of fun. And what do we have? We also have our treasure boxes available for you. We have featured these before. Judy puts these together herself. These mixed media treasure boxes have so much in them. So many vintage items. These are authentic journal papers. There are pens, and fresco finish paint is in this one, which is just a really wonderful chalk finish. Matte, it just goes on everything beautiful. You know, a white pen to go over, applicators, photographs, all kinds of ephemera in here. They are, we call them treasure boxes because it really is a treasure. This is one of our rice paper sheets, which these are so much fun because they're have a translucent look. There's even some pieces of fodder, things that have been done and started for you. There's music. I mean, a little piece of sequin waste, which is the world's greatest stencil. I gave you guys this is sequin waste, didn't I?
Yes, ma'am.
There's some textured wallpaper in here, postcards, some paper scraps from when we were trimming, so I can't even reach all of it. That is just amazing. And this is our ephemera box. So this is similar, but there's a bit of a difference. This one's got some crystal boho bits, and there's embossing powder in this one. Again, the ledger paper, some ribbon. There's some actual physical tags and metal pieces. Stickers, napkins, which might sound weird, but you know, it's not weird because you peel them apart and they just become this great translucent layer for your art. I gave you guys napkins too, didn't I?
I've already pulled mine apart.
Well, good. And this one, what do we have here? This mixed media ephemera. Oh, Jen, are these the same, but they're just different shaped boxes? Or am I showing people different things?
There should be tags on the bottom.
I read, but they say, these two both say ephemera, but they're different shapes.
Okay, what, it's possible, what, number are they?
Oh, I don't know.
Sorry.
This is 911021,
Okay,
and this is 10. 21, and this ends it with a 10.
okay, well then, it's possible that they are different, but they might look
Similar. They're nice, fun surprise boxes. You're gonna get lots of cool stuff in them.
Better.
So some of the things that we put together for you, like for instance, we have like a trio of the new color stencil butters. We put together some kind of little bundles, unlike the way they come, and we've got some like sampler type ideas, and one of them is some of the Marabou acrylic sprays. And what I wanted to show you here, these two pages, I hope you think they look kind of similar. You know, there's some green, they're blue, they're yellow. The difference is this was done with the Marabou acrylic inks. That's this. This was done with dye inks. And again, like we said with the Inktense and like we've said with a couple of our products, what you really like about that is a dye ink is a watercolor. You've just lost your edge, it moves. Might not be a bad thing, but that's not permanent. Acrylic inks, permanent. So, if you're going for this splatter look or you're going for a specific thing, the Marabou acrylic ink is going to give you that look and it's going to stay. And again, you can layer on top of it, you can add more, and your base layers are going to be intact. So that's a really great feature. There's nothing wrong with bleeding and blending, so I'm not dissing watercolor or when you do it, but it's what are you looking for, what are you trying to do, and so there are products out there that can work for you and work for your project. And we also have some of our Shunkaneko ink stations, and this is, they call it all-purpose ink. It comes in a wide variety of number of colors and varieties in the sets. This can be used on so many different surfaces, including fabric, and again, it's a permanent color. So the workstations come with these great little applicators. It's called Fantastics. And they just have either a bullet point or a sharp point. And what I'm doing here, literally just painting on straight. It's like grown-up coloring. So it's a fun way to make a print fabric your own. It's a fun way to freehand a complete design. They can be diluted with like a clear aloe gel, so you can get a more translucent effect or a paler color, or blend that way.
I dilute them with alcohol, rubbing alcohol.
Jen is saying she dilutes hers with rubbing alcohol. But very versatile, lots of fun. And I just had my hand on my stencil butter, but guess what? It's already dry because it dries very quickly. So isn't that great? So, I think am I done, Jen? What else do we have? Do we have more fun stuff?
I think that's about it to present.
Are there any questions? Could you understand anything I said? I'm so not good at this. But we wanted to keep our little tradition going. So I'm trying to keep Judy's seat warm until she gets back from Italy. And she'll have lots to show us and tell us then. So, any questions?
No?
Okay, let's take one more look at what our buddies over here are doing.
Our wonderful studio audience.
Our fodder makers.
They are fodder makering
Let's
to
see
beat
what
the
happens.
band.
This is with the Inktense on a rubber stamp, and it's really wet.
Awesome.
So
Woo, that's
colors.
beautiful.
you
Right.
kind of mix your colors right on it.
Oh, that's great.
you-
Even
if you
even
have
the ghost print is good.
Yeah, if you have a spritz bottle, you can
This is-
color it and spritz it.
And this is a stencil underneath a piece of paper.
I want to show
Using
you
the
what Suzanne
Inktense.
did because isn't that your is that your scrapbook paper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, this is what Suzanne started with.
Wow.
A piece of scrapbook paper. So
So,
this is making it your own, adding the colors that you want.
Right.
How awesome is that?
So if you damp press this, and so if you put water on it before it's dry,
Yeah.
it
you
will
can
turn,
change
it will
it.
just flood all over. But if you just dampen it, it brings out the design.
That's perfect.
I started
But
on
this paper
green,
is
and I didn't realize.
not watercolor paper, so I think I
Or might have a little
It's-
hole in
it's
it.
a-
took a hole in it.
Oh, well, you know what? You'll
I
just
know,
patch
I
over
just-
that, right?
It's extra texture.
Exactly. And then this was done with rubbing over this, rubbing the
Mix on the
Inktense
media.
over the, what's that stuff called?
Sequin waste.
The sequin
So you're
waste.
getting that great texture. That's
Yeah.
that's
I
beautiful.
I love this. And you can rub this over it like that. And rub it over like that. And
Sharon,
it turns into fish scales almost.
we do have a question.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Isn't it?
In your experience, how do you
Wow.
look for the marabou sprays so they don't clog?
Yeah. Did you see this? Well, I colored the whole,
Yeah.
You did, yeah.
yeah, color the whole fabric.
You could make that
Yeah,
like a
so the-
centerpiece or a
the-
piece of a
I
panel.
know.
The question was, how do you care for the marabou sprays so they don't clog? And it's a good question, and not there's no perfect way to do this because there are an awful lot of mist products out there that promise you that they are sold in a non-clogging bottle, and it's tough. I try to empty the sprayer completely out back into the bottle. I'm big on hot water and I'm just trying to flood it. I will poke a little needle in there if I feel like I need to. But I think the biggest thing is just to try to keep it completely primed down and try to get the worst of it off because it is an acrylic, and so if there's a lot left around it, it could seal it up. So I hope that might help. I'm just fascinated with what they're doing here. This is the fun fodder table.
playtime. It's,
Diane is using a set of stamps from Gwen LaFleur. We've got some stamps in our
These are-
store.
these are Seth Apter stamps, I believe. Was that a Seth?
No, this was
Is that
a
Cohen also?
this was all from the same set. That was a
This is some of that paper, and I just
Oh,
took
it's Gwen LaFleur.
the
Oh,
permanent pad and I
Mhm.
used it, I just stamped right on it. And now the metallic parts show more. The metallics resisted.
yeah, metallic ink
Oh, wow.
will do that. So I think you just improved the paper.
We don't
I
always
mean,
know
it's
what
so
we're
cool.
doing. I started on this.
Well, that's what
And then
ex-
I turned it over and I realized.
That's why I gave you the green side. I thought that side was kind of funny looking. I'm like, oh, I think we're better with the green.
Who knew?
And you can cut bits of it out. I mean, I just tore, it
Yeah.
tears beautifully.
You've
These are,
got some great pieces over here. I love what
You
you
have to
did.
be
You should have
patient
been
with these, too.
teaching the leading the charge. Look at
Yes.
so completely coloring the fabric in all these different ways.
Oh,
so
by
if
the
I
other
use
hand,
textile
yeah.
medium, then it would be
Then
really
it's
permanent and you could
permanent,
probably
yeah.
even gently wash it, but
I
this was
used
a
the
blend
stamp
of
pad.
the matte medium and water.
Yeah.
But some quilters actually paint, if it's not to be washed for a wall piece, we use aloe.
Yeah.
Carrie Britton used aloe with colored pencils. And then you could use the textile, Joe Sonja textile.
Yeah, we sell the
medium?
Joe Sonia.
Right, Joe Sonja.
That's how I say it. I don't know if I'm right.
Mine's uglier than Suzanne's.
No such
This
thing.
had the gel medium in it, and it's almost dry.
Yeah, I
This
see
one,
that.
I took the stamp pad and I just used the corner of it, and these are
Oh,
permanent.
cool. Yeah.
So that
right.
should, I know when I've gotten it on my clothes, I can't get it
Yeah,
out.
that's what I always tell people when they ask about acrylics. I'm kind of
Oh.
like, have you ever spilled acrylic paint? If you don't get it out of your clothes right away.
It's
Yeah.
there, I have some.
Diane, was this with the color burst?
No,
Or
that
was this with-
these. I used.
With
I-
with the
I
Inktense?
colored it onto
Look at that.
onto
So that was the
the-
stencil she used.
the stencil,
And
and I
then-
kind of like my,
Oh, I know. Well, yeah,
Underneath paper.
that's why I gave you the
Oh.
deli paper too.
Yes,
So
this is my,
yeah, hers
Jelly
is really
paper.
pretty.
so this was my under paper, but now this, you always
I
save
got-
your deli
I got
paper for
2 cent
collage,
on what it said,
because it's so nice and thin.
yeah.
Be absolutely perfect for scrapbooking.
Right.
all
Or
right,
card making.
Yes.
Or
Let's-
ATCs.
let's show them some of the things that we've got for them
All right.
here.
Time to go to our table of wonderful products. All right. So I'll be showing a few things here, and hopefully Jen and I will be coordinated enough where it will also pop up on that screen. We have some of our inspiration packs, new stencils that we just got in this week over here. Some of our foil with our artistic artifacts paint and rubber stamp collection here. Sharon's favorite gelatos. We will never ever let her forget it. All right, and you'll begin to see some inks and there's some more artistic artistic artifacts paint. Now we have those paired together on purpose. They do come together in a set. If you see these sets of 3, we kind of picked out some colorways we thought would be really nice and that you might enjoy. All right, and for those of you who haven't worked with our paints before, they are ours. We work with our own chemists to design this special blend of paints. We don't believe in just single-use items here, as you can tell. They can be used on paper, fabric, rubber stamps, some of our wood block printing, just about anything. All right, and we have some more paper packs here.
else are you showing them, Kyle?
Paper packs.
Okay.
And then some inks here. We do also have a few more item sets. Some of our printed Indian paper with some rubber stamps, ink pads. We do have them paired in various sizes. Some a little bit larger, some smaller. We do love our Seth Apter and Gwen LaFour rubber stamps. Those are two very, very popular items here. And then we just have some other gel pens, markers, and the like. All right. If anyone has any questions about anything that they've seen, anything you want me to go back over, please put it in the comments and Jen will tell me. All right, we did.
Can you go back and show the butters again? Over on the table?
Over on the other table, yes, absolutely. We'll, have some
Let me
of
move the
these.
fodder.
Here we go.
So these are the new colors. We do, and there are 13 original colors. New to us are also, or new to our website, are the black and whites. We've had those in the store for a while, but they got added with the new colors. So there's a whole huge range now.
And what were you saying? This is the new one, and this is the original.
Yeah, this is the original yellow, and that's to show you like there.
So just show you a little bit of a color difference.
So, and again, orchid was the original purple, and this is eggplant. So just that idea of the ocean blue was the original blue, and denim blue. So it's a really beautiful, somewhat toned down version of the similar colors. But they'll, again, all mix together, all work together.
You know what? I've seen a lot of denim blues, in my life and working here. And I gotta say, that's probably the most denim blue that I've ever seen.
They got
That's
it
pretty
close,
good.
didn't they? So I think what's the other? The fern is the new green. Do we have it out?
Should be those two right there. I
No,
think.
these are the old colors. Hang on, let me get the fern green. We stacked wrong, I think.
Oh, and then here's some of the more metallics as well.
Yeah, here you go. So the original greens were this dark terra vert and this lime green, and this is the fern. Look at that.
Wow.
Isn't that
Oh,
pretty?
those are great.
So really beautiful set now. And again, they all have that really beautiful, creamy,
Look, pearlescent.
Consistent. So easy to apply. Just soap and water cleanup or water alone. Easy. So many different ways you can use it. As I said, you can kind of paint with it and use it for dimensions. So.
All right.
Try to show you where things are. So thank you so much for bearing with me again, and for supporting Artistic Artifacts the way you do, and for spending some time with us on your Thursday evening. If you've got any questions, just email us, and we will see you again soon.